At the time, it was low modification time, so it was it was rough.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know any better. You sit at a table, you know, you have a grown man crying, save my home, my family, my kids, and they're like, oh,
damn.
That was a little tough. So that's how I got started.
Yeah.
Then short sales came into play, and then flipping came into play, and then, you know, I snowballed from there. In my honest opinion, mindset is everything. A perfect example is a guy just joined my office last week, wasn't doing any deals, joined our team, got a listing, got a buyer, and just got one into escrow yesterday.
Dude.
In the first week.
One of the hardest markets.
One of the hardest markets. Right.
Real. That's like your whole life just changed.
It was rough. So then, you know, there's politics and everything in life.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's real estate or sports or whatever it is, right? And politics played into some things while I was on the USA national team.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. You gotta believe sometimes. I know inflation is out of control. Our economy looks like it's melting. The only person you can turn to is yourself. And the best way to do that is to give yourself a chance. You like that one?
I do like that one, actually.
Like I said, today's been a good morning.
I don't think I've heard you sing like that
good,
before.
That's a good intro.
You actually stayed on tune, too.
I know.
That was pretty impressive.
He was here early working on that
Was
vocal,
he?
dude.
It was like, what do you usually say? Yellow leather, yellow leather.
Yellow leather, yellow.
He usually does that like
Unique
before.
New York. Unique New York.
We have Christian Fernandez. Christian, what's up, dude?
Welcome
to the podcast.
How are you guys?
Good.
Awesome.
So excited to have you.
I'm
like
excited to be
seriously,
here,
I've been a fan of you since we met, seen what you've created. You have a cool story, but you have a lot of success. And so I'm excited to see how we can share those stories with everyone here in our audience.
Definitely.
So to start, tell us in a quick summary.
Okay.
Anybody who's popping in right now and they're like, who is this guy? Like, tell us why they should even want to listen to your story today.
Yeah, so let's see. Started real estate 14 years ago. I have done over 100 flips.
Dang.
I have done loan mods. I have done short sales. We've developed properties from the ground up. Started a team with only 15 agents in the office. 6 months later, we're at 43, 44 agents.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
this guy believes.
Yeah, right?
So you just, you know, if I can do it, I feel, you know, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I had no real estate background. We are growing as we speak. On top of that, I was able to icon in my company, which puts me in the top 3% in the whole company.
Whole company, not just like the department you guys have.
Nope, 50 states, 24 countries.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah.
Top 3% in that.
Top 3%.
That's huge.
What is that? Is that
That's
3,000 people, maybe?
That's a
Dude.
lot.
Yeah.
So
that's really right.
with you saying you said icon means like, so is it your company that you're part of a franchise, or is it your own company?
Yeah, so EXP gives out an award. The brokerage gives out an award. You have to cap with the broker, which is about, well, in Orange County, it's about 4 deals. After you cap, you have to do an additional 20 transactions to be able to achieve the Icon Award. So you get the $16,000 back that you paid, you get it back in a form of stock.
Wow.
Sick.
So you got to run through a wall, break it down, and run through it again.
And get exactly.
For those who don't know how thick that wall is, like realistically, what's the average houses that a realtor closes?
Yeah, it's not 20,
a year.
Yeah, it's not 25. It's not an Icon Award number.
Out of 1.6 million real estate agents, 13% close pretty much 90% of transactions.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
you're probably like at six
Bar.com.
transactions.
So you're top of the top percent.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year was a good year. I did 34 transactions.
Wow.
Love it. Before we get into all the business stuff, I think I can't miss the opportunity to talk about a little bit more. Let's talk about a little bit of your raising, right? Where'd you grow up?
Yep.
And then also tell us how you got to the Olympics or almost to the Olympics.
Almost Olympics.
What is this? This guy would do it all. Does it all.
Let's see. So my parents are from Argentina. So soccer is our religion.
You related to Messi?
No, but you know what's funny? I'm going to see him this week in
Miami?
In LA. They play LAFC, and my dad's friends with the
Dude.
coach, and so I'll be able to go to the hotel, talk to the coach, assistant coach, and
Yeah.
An icon
and
means
just
an icon.
and just
Dude. Yeah, right, dude. His security's on it, bro.
yeah, he's got that guy that follows him all the time. It's
moving
nuts.
hands every
Yeah,
time
it's
somebody
nuts.
touches him.
When you think
It's
of Messi,
crazy.
I just love when a model tried to take a picture of him.
Oh, yeah.
He was like,
Yeah, he's all
He's like, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
get beat.
touching-
Mad respect for that guy though. For
So
doing that.
much.
definitely,
dude.
definitely. No, so I grew up in a soccer environment, very competitive at a young age, and then I was fortunate enough to make the state team, then the regional team, then the USA national team. So at a U17 level, so 16, 15 years old, where it allowed me to travel to France, Portugal, all these different countries.
Dude.
Meet friends all around the world.
What was your favorite country?
You know what? France. Southern France. Yeah, like Nantes area, Bordeaux, like down there. That was pretty cool.
Beautiful. All the way to the coast?
No, we were playing in a big tournament where it was 16 countries in that tournament. So we just stayed in that area. I was 16 years old at the time. But we were the first USA team ever at any age group to win in an international tournament.
Bro.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
Damn.
So started with that. Grew up in La Habra, the city of La Habra. We call it Wada La Habra.
I haven't heard that.
That's a good one.
But that's where we grew up, and then little by little, just went to play college soccer, played on the soccer team, on the national team for a little bit. I had some unfortunate injuries. I had a full ride to UCLA.
Wow.
Tore my ACL. Scholarship got taken away. Parents, I had a dad that worked in construction every day. Mom didn't work, housewife, so money was tight.
Wow.
So unfortunately, I had to pivot from that and go to a different school that gave me a full ride, as my parents could not afford it. So from there, got into coaching, ran a club, not a nightclub.
Soccer club.
So then I was approached, actually by my brother. My brother had a real estate company that started in his garage, went to a really crappy office with no AC. Then we went to a really nice office. And little by little, we kind of grew, and he's like, hey, man, just come do real estate. I'm like, I don't know what the hell real estate is. So he's like, you've been selling yourself your whole life, whether you were a player or whether you were a coach or a director or whatever you were. So that's how I got involved with real estate. It took me 30 days max to figure it out. At the time, it was low modification time. So it was rough.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. You sit at a table, you have a grown man crying, save my home, my family, my kids, and they're like, oh,
damn.
That was a little tough. So that's how I got started.
Yeah.
Then short sales came into play, and then flipping came into play, and then I snowballed from there. I live in city of Orange for about
really quick. I'm
13
going to
years.
throw in there just because I want to hear a little bit more. Like, so you're accomplishing stuff no one else has, right? You're going to France. You're breaking new boundaries for even your whole country. Like, I can't even imagine how excited you were as a kid, how many dreams you were having, and you're gonna go to UCLA, and then it just shifts.
It just shifts. So,
Bro,
Yeah, that's a heartbreak, dude.
that's
It's like you went for so long.
Yeah, they just wiggled a little carrot.
Yeah,
dude.
boom. Yeah,
that's your whole life just changed.
It was rough. So then there's politics and everything in life.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's real estate or sports or whatever it is, right? And politics played into some things while I was on the USA national team. So I was on the team, co-captain, and randomly cut 3 days before the World Cup.
Wow.
By I won't say any names, but a gentleman that the dad paid off the coach.
Damn.
So he can take a roster spot. He happened to play my position, so they had to make room. So I was cut.
Wow.
So I went from co-captain to being cut. And then the gentleman went, and the kid.
Wouldn't they think
went
there's some sort of conspiracy? I'm like, dude, co-captain? Come on. You know,
It
that's pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, I was on a roll. I was playing well at the time, and I went from tournament MVP of that French tournament with 16 countries to co-captain to the second most minutes to getting cut.
So you didn't get hurt?
Not at that time. So then,
you got
then my
robbed.
bad luck started right after that. So then my senior years when I tore my ACL, that's when I lost my scholarship.
Damn.
And then I was trying out, fast forward, a couple of years later, I was trying out for the Galaxy, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before I signed, as my father's talking to the coach at the time, assistant coach at the time, on the bench. I lied. On the bleachers, jump up for a ball, guy pushes me in the air, land wrong, knee hyperextend, pops. So there goes that opportunity. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, this is now twice.
Hold on, dude. You get robbed from a position because you're poor, and you're too poor to be heard, so no one cares. Then you lose your scholarship because of an accident, and then you get even more hurt. Like most people in that circumstance, right? Especially coming from La Habra, other drugs would have been the outlet.
Yeah.
And you did it.
No, I mean, a lot of stuff goes through your mind. It's like, oh, I don't want to, I'm not doing surgery. Screw this, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't want to do anything. All that stuff goes through your head.
Yeah.
And then, as
At a
time
young
goes,
age too. How old are you?
I was 17 at the time,
Bro.
16 at the time, and
How?
now it's
That's
like,
like
second
heartbreaking.
ACL, but then you start thinking, oh, if I have kids in the future,
Damn.
I can't play with my kid if I don't fix my knee, and and it's like, it's rough.
Yeah, dude.
And I was fortunate enough to have even another chance. Now, obviously, in between not getting hurt and getting hurt a couple times, when I didn't get injured, I had a chance to go try out for some big clubs that I didn't take advantage of.
But at that moment where you're like, hey, there might be something else in life. Is that why?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, if it's already happening, it's gonna happen again, and bigger opportunities. And
Yeah.
obviously, those opportunities did not happen as much as I thought, and the opportunities were not as good as the first ones were.
Yeah.
So it was rough. That's when I just decided to hang him up. I started giving back to the community per se, and coach little kids, boys and girls, and run clubs, and pass my experience on how I was able to get there to other kids.
Dang.
So that was my way of coaching and being a
Be part of the game
salesperson
still.
and being a part of the game
Yeah.
and trying to give back.
Gave you some of that satisfaction.
Correct.
Was there any like moment in all that just like made you, like, what was the deciding moment that gave you the strength to just be okay, right? Because I feel like there's so much there, like, especially as a 17-year-old kid, you have so many hopes and dreams and everything, and it literally, I mean, dude, the fact that you got robbed from it,
Yeah, that was
part,
rough.
that's like,
Well, I got a funny story about that. So, again, I won't say the name of the kid. Go backwards about 2 years ago,
yeah,
between last 2 to 3 years, if that actually. I get a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, oh, why is he messaging me? And I open it up, and it's the kid that took my spot. That the dad was a mortgage broker. Or
I was about to say, those damn mortgage guys,
man,
dude.
It was somebody that they were very well off from Manhattan Beach area.
Yeah,
And the kid messaged me, and he goes, hey,
fucked up your life. I'm sorry.
and indirect, I think he was reaching out. He apologized. He was reaching out to, I think it was more for his benefit to be able to
get it off his
Get
chest.
it
get off his chest.
Yeah, I'm sure he went
30
to-
years later or whatever.
sure he went to
Actually, 30 years
counseling.
later.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure yeah. And then I do have a friend that is a psychologist. I'm like, hey, why would this guy send me this?
Yeah.
And she's like, he's looking for closure.
Guilt.
Yeah,
Damn.
guilt. Exactly. He's looking for closure. He wants you to tell him it's okay. And I did. That was my response. I said, dude, long time ago, no big deal. It's actually, I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I could have been playing for
Next to Messi.
Real Madrid or something like that. But it's things happen for a reason. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have what I have today. I wouldn't be doing real estate. I wouldn't be sitting here next to you guys. So
Was there a moment of like, is there a moment that you could look back on and go like, this is what made me have confidence to keep going? Because again, there's you hit a fork in the road where you could have totally gone a different route.
Yeah, I've always been a pretty confident person on the soccer field.
Yeah.
When I stepped onto the field, I was like, well, this guy's not going to stop me. So it's just not going to happen. That was just my mindset.
Yeah.
After all those L's,
even
not to
then,
like rub it in, but all those L's.
yeah, even
Maybe
then-
I'm not bulletproof.
No,
And like to transition to something else and start from the bottom, I'm assuming, with sports, like it was like a natural talent. So like it came easy to you. So to transition to now in business, cold calling and
Yeah.
getting rejection.
Yeah.
That never there was
Dude.
never a switch where like, hey, I got to readjust, and it's actually gonna be hard. You're like, you know what? If it is what it is. I'm gonna get through it anyways. Like you already had that, or was there something significant, or something that happened
That
to you
happened?
that
I think all those injuries prepared me for what I'm doing today. If you go back to, we live in a little apartment, 2-story apartment. I have 3 siblings. So a 3-bedroom apartment, 3 siblings. So what is that? That's 4. That's 6 of us in the house. It's a little tight.
Yeah.
All the way from that to losing my scholarship to, even when I had to go try out for the regional team for the West Coast, my poor parents couldn't pay for the second week. If you go there for a week, you stay second week. We couldn't afford the extra $700. So I had to fly home.
Wow.
Shit.
So they offered me a spot, but I couldn't pay for it. So, and that's just the society we live in where,
Yeah.
at the time it was called ODP, which some people might know what that stands for. It's Olympic Development Program. So I just got lucky where the national team came to Chapman University as their first trip, and I lived in La Habra. And it's not that far of a drive from Orange to La Habra, so I got invited, and ever since then I stayed on the team.
Wow.
So, but then the injuries came in, and everything, all the adversity came in, and because I was able to get through all those, knocking on somebody's door.
Yeah.
You know, hey, do you want to sell this booklet that I'm selling for the gas? $39.95. You get oil changes.
You just brought up
all
like
that stuff.
adversity. You know, I think today's generation, like, hey, I saw you do it. I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go through that adversity. Do you tell people? Would you tell people, no, hey, you should welcome adversity, because if you don't, you won't develop the character you need to survive life? Or would you want to, hey, do these things to avoid adversity?
First of all, the people. We'll talk about real estate, right? Because that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Real estate agents today, they don't understand how hard it was back then compared to what it is today. Today, everything comes in a CRM. Back in the day, you're using Post-its. I mean, I had Post-its. Pink, yellow, a different color would mean a certain thing. I mean, I had Post-its all over my desk. On my computer, you slap them on the computer at the bottom, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, people today, it's like the lead comes in. They call you. It's a transfer call. It's a click to claim. It's like,
They get a text message from you.
you get a text message. Yeah. It's like,
You gotta check your computer
if I
anymore.
had that back then,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, 350, 400 past clients. I would have probably 1,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. So, going back to what you said, I feel like in today's systems and world, we were talking about systems earlier. I think it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But you have to go through adversity to be able to grow.
Yeah.
And there's two. You're either gonna grow, or you're gonna sit there and be pouty about it.
Before we dive into some practical things on how you've grown such a successful personal portfolio and business, right? Like, I think one of the questions that happens a lot is, especially depending on how somebody grows up in this next generation, maybe they've never felt true adversity, right? And now in their 20s or at 18, they're feeling adversity for the first time, right? Because you had 18 years of even adversity as a kid, I'm sure.
Sure.
And so like you had a buildup of all these at-bats.
Right.
There's people, and I actually didn't think this existed. And then I started speaking to people. I'm like, oh shit. Like, there's people who have a great childhood.
Right.
They graduate high school. They've never had adversity.
Right.
And then they get it for the first time as an adult or a pre-adult.
And now they start freaking out.
Yeah. And so like, what's advice you would give that person, knowing that, I mean, you were robbed of one of the biggest opportunities.
Yeah.
You then just had a series of bad luck, and you still pivoted.
I think a lot of it, I tell my team this a lot every Tuesday at the meetings. A lot of it is mindset.
Yeah.
I have two really good cold callers in my office. If they make 100 calls in one day and it doesn't go the way, it's like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I think to me, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Like, you have to have that mindset of on to the next. I'm going to learn from it. Not going to happen again. And then learn from that mistake or that adversity, and then just go on to the next.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, mindset is everything. A perfect example is a guy just joined my office last week, wasn't doing any deals, joined our team, got a listing, got a buyer, and just got one into escrow yesterday.
Dude.
In the first week.
One of the hardest markets.
One of the hardest markets.
For real.
So it's like, it's a mindset. But the guy comes in with a suit, tie, and he's just like, hey, what's up, guy? And it's a mindset, man. It's
in your mindset. What are you fueling yourself to like? Not like what's your morning routine or anything like that, but like in that moment, right? You have a millisecond decision to make. What are you like referencing that makes you? Are you telling yourself it's gonna freaking be okay?
So I'll give you a personal experience that happened 3-4 months ago. I had a property in Floral Park that actually just closed escrow yesterday. That was in April. Actually, it was April. We had it in April. Fell out of escrow. They were going to purchase we were in escrow at 1.650. They were purchasing 2.350. I had a $5 million listing in Santa Clarita area, second biggest home in the whole valley in that area. They shoot TV shows. I mean, the whole nine. I mean, the place is ridiculous. I lost all of those transactions.
Wow.
The one in Floral Park in Santa Ana, the purchase at they were on their Uplake property they were buying. The construction was shoddy, so they had to back out. Then we have to cancel on the listing side. Then the $5 million one, we were in escrow. I was double ending that one at $5 million. And then that buyer couldn't get his money out from the Department of Treasury and so forth. So now it's like, you start doing the numbers. I'm sure you can add up quick. You know, 5 million times 4% is 200,000 plus the 2.3 plus this plus that. You're like, I just lost 350 grand in commission in like literally 3 days.
Wow.
And I did sit on my couch with my coffee, looking at my block wall in my pool.
Wow.
And I really sat there and I was like, what the, like, I can't afford to lose this, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm already, you know, trying to help all the agents out. I need to still pay my bills, right?
Yeah.
I literally got up after my coffee, I showered, and I was like, I'm just going to go get some listings.
Heck yeah.
And I literally just got 2 or 3 deals that same week. And things happen, right? Random calls. Hey, I've been thinking about buying. I've been thinking about selling.
Yeah.
And we just, Flower came back, and we just closed Flower.
Yeah.
And we're closing next week on their Dove Canyon property for 1.9. So it's like,
it's back.
Yeah. Again, it's mindset. I could have just sat there and go, oh my God, why is God not good to me? And, you know, whatever, you know? But you got to change that mindset, man.
It is all mindset. I'm telling you.
It is.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the things I feel that is there that I hope more people who are in an entrepreneur world or any type of world where the wins create their commissions, right? Or their income. Anytime there's a loss, the best resolution I've seen is make your mindset say, I'm going to go now find a win.
Yep.
Like if I have a bad escrow or I have something negative happening, as soon as I'm done, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go make phone calls until I find a conversation that re-energizes me.
Exactly.
Because it's mentality to go get the inertia, and then it's doing something that changes your energy.
Yep.
Because then when you have that new energy, you're magnetizing all the stuff. So it's like, go find a win. If you have a loss, go work until you find a new win and get re-energized.
Yep.
See, for me, I need to like let the emotion of you suck, let it get it. If you don't, for me, if I don't let the emotions pass, then as I'm trying to do it, I'm still back in my mind like that doubt. Yeah. So I have to let the emotion pass through first.
Go fight somebody?
Me, honestly.
Burpees?
I'll watch One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill?
Yeah, I'll watch a TV show.
What the hell?
I'll watch a show.
Isn't that like a high school girl show?
Oh, yeah. I'll pick different show for a season. When I lost when I lost $3 million and I had to sell my house, I watched the whole season of One Tree Hill, cried it out, all the emotions, and then I went up and I started making phone calls and things. Yeah. But I had to let it. But you guys seem to bounce back so much quicker. For me, and I see a lot of other people, younger generation, like my son now, like feelings have to pass through. But for you guys, it seems like you bitched about it in your head for like a day. And then like what, how did you guys do that is what I want to know.
I think for me, sports helped me out, right?
Okay.
You know, I think it's helped me out, whether it's I missed an easy shot or a penalty kick and, free kick or breakaway, whatever you want to call it, right? And it's like, dude, am I going to sit here for 90 more minutes or 80 minutes, whatever's left, and just cry about it? Or am I just going to make it right and go get a goal? Yeah. So I think that mindset, the sports has helped me to have, I think a lot of it too has to do with personality. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's because we're Mexican or Argentinian, whatever it is.
Or Costa Rican.
But I think a lot is personality. I think it's, we're all different. And there's people in my office that, they're not, they just don't have my mindset, but that's just their personality. There's nothing wrong with that. They maybe deal with it differently.
Yeah. I think there's seasons of all of it and circumstances too. Like I've definitely had the circumstances where I'm a little bit depressed and then I am totally going through like my own TV shows. I watch all Rick and Morty.
Don't be
cartoons.
talking shit, dog.
I laugh because I'm not watching a high school girl show. But no, I mean, there is those. But then I also look back and I go, I think when I've now been tempted and I'm trying to be self-aware, I go, do I want to spend hours with this, or do I have enough of a belief in what I know is right that I'm going to force myself and discipline myself to go and find a win?
Yeah.
And so it's just growth and change. Sometimes you're too weak to take your own medicine, so you binge out. But then I think for me personally, I feel like I've been growing more and more, and I've now seen the moments where I'm tempted to do this, and I go, it's not worth it. I have to force myself for this, so I don't want to, and I don't work as fast as Christian.
Yeah, dude,
I think the sports thing is huge.
You bounce back harder.
Yeah,
I think
I get my son into sports now.
Because you got to remember, in sports, it's a split-second decision, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have time to process it and watch a TV show in the middle of the soccer game or whatever.
Dude, I've seen everyone fake their freaking hurts. They're just sitting there crying, getting emotionally stabilized.
I really think, I think that's why, enterprise people, right? They hire ex-college people, but they love to hire athletes, ex-athletes, college
and military.
athletes, and military.
Yeah.
It's that
That bounce
that
back.
mindset,
Yeah,
that bounce back, that competitiveness.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just an example, but I really think sports
Yeah.
helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's seasons for it. Like, dude, sometimes you just got to forgive yourself and be a Wendy cheater.
Yeah. No, trust me. My wife, like, because I wear a lot of black shirts, I knew it was a sign from God. Hey, you got to wake the fuck up and like,
Yeah.
like,
Dude.
I'm just, in awe, like how things go bad, but you bounce back. Like, UCLA cut you. You found another school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You injury, boom. You're just like back. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. This didn't work. I'm gonna try business. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's not that you didn't go through a 1 year or I don't know, like a 2 year drinking binge where you're trying to figure out, hey, is God real or is is my life worth it? Like you didn't go through that, which I know a lot of people who fall that hard because like you didn't fall like okay from a step. You came from like a mountain to the valley and then you bounce back like let me get back up to the mountain and be like, hey, you know what? The valley ain't that warm. It ain't that hot.
I will tell you, getting cut from the national team, the USA team, that that's something you work for all your life, right? I mean, that's like making it to the top,
You're at the top,
right?
dude.
Yeah.
So it's like
As a 17-year-old?
yeah, 17-year-olds. So they're basically picking the 18 best players in the United States of America. It's not just in Orange County or in La Habra. So getting to that point for 2 years, 2.5 years, and then getting cut, it's like I'm not going to tell you that I did not cry.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you that I didn't pout for like a week, but it's like, oh, screw it. So then when of course, stubborn me, when I get called back into it and we had to play in Chula Vista, I'm like, I'm not playing for you guys.
Dang.
So I went and played with my club team against the USA team. And we of course, yeah. So it's like, oh, you should have kept me.
Yeah.
You know? And granted, I did tackle the guy a little harder than I should have, but that took my spot. But
no wonder it took 30 years to apologize.
I know, right? He's still recovering from his
He's
broken
scared
leg.
you're going to hurt him again, dude.
No, so it's I think the sport, me being a coach, a director of a club, you lose a game.
Yeah.
Just like an NFL coach or whatever, they have to analyze why they lost.
Love that. As we come to a close here, I'd love to just hear a little bit of like why you're so passionate about your business and which business are you more passionate about? Is it your business of incubating, nurturing, and growing realtors and their businesses as a leader and a coach? Is it your real estate portfolio because you flipped over 100 homes? Do you also do long-term? Like what in real estate makes you so passionate? Because it seems like you're passionate to it like soccer.
Damn, that's a good question, dude. Man.
It's like picking the kid, which one you love more.
Yeah, it's like which candy,
I'm waiting
which
to see.
popsicle do you want? It's like shit. Damn, that's a hard one.
I'm gonna guess. Let me guess.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go with the flipping
100%.
because flipping doesn't involve other people's emotions and feelings, and
Yeah.
he has complete control over it.
Yeah.
The other one, because he didn't do the whole One Tree Hill thing,
Yeah.
for him to have that empathy would be
watch that
hard.
today. It's
So
a big
like he would have
challenge.
to put a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And no matter how much energy, he doesn't dictate his income. On the
Right.
flipping, he controls everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he would pick flipping over. I'm just saying.
Ideally,
Yeah.
I am more passionate about soccer. But, $70,000 a year ain't going to cut it
Yeah.
where I live. So my passion is really soccer. I like to coach. I like to give back. That's also why I think I've done okay with my new office is because I've had the background of coaching.
Yeah.
I love when let's see, Brianna Franco has 6 escrows right now.
Heck yeah.
She's averaging 3 deals a month. I love the fact that she's going to do more in our first year, not even a full year. She didn't even come over to like March. She's going to do more deals this year than she did last year at her old brokerage. I love the fact that Jackie has 3 listings right now. You know how hard it is to get one listing right now?
Yeah.
She
No one
has
wants to sell
3. So it's like
anything.
all these things like that. It makes you feel like you are helping and you're making you're improving somebody's life, right?
Yeah.
So it's very rewarding to have that. But my main passion is soccer. But he's right. I think out of all 3 of those, there's less emotions involved and you have more control
Yeah.
of the flipping side of it. I cannot control somebody making 1,000 calls a month. I can't
Yeah.
control hey, go get an open house. I'm not going to go do it for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what you should do, and most people don't do it.
Yeah.
That's on them.
So from a fiscal position, right, from a financial situation, what do you love most about the flipping? Is it just because you can make a big return? Is it the high of cutting the deal up front? Is it any tax strategy that has benefited you overall? Like, give us the quick summary there.
Well, I think, look, I have a goal. I'm 46. In 9 years, I'm retiring. I don't want to be 70, arthritis, diabetes, whatever is going on at that time in my life. And now I can't travel and I can't leave stuff for my kids. So I do everything for my family. That's my mindset
Yeah.
on all this. And yes, we own properties that we buy and hold, and we get rental income and things like that. And I flip, and you're right, flipping is going to give you a lot more than a commission on one deal right now. So that's very rewarding on the financial side
Yeah.
of stuff. And I basically just do it to leave it behind for my family and my kids. So that's really why
So
I
your
do
high
all
is
this.
your legacy.
Exactly, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Heck yeah.
that's the part of me flipping. That's the part of me running my office. That's the part of me doing all this. I want to leave it behind, and I want to be able to enjoy my life from 55 on.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just gonna work my ass off right now
Yeah.
and call it a day when I get to 55.
So then you could be a self-supported coach.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
sick, dude.
So hopefully the office runs itself.
Yeah.
I do get about 10, 15 referrals a year. So that, just stop the grinding a little
Yeah.
bit and enjoy my life, enjoy my kids and my family.
Yeah. I love that. Well, with that, Min, you got anything else to finish this
Kindred
off?
spirit, except for the One Tree Hill thing. I'm picking 55 is my number,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I like
Nice.
the reason why I like social is because I can control it. When I'm
Yeah.
like, people, why don't you breed more loan officers or breed more influencers? Like, because I don't control
Yeah.
how they're going to produce content,
Yeah.
how they feel, what they want to do. But for me, I wake up, I'm consistent, and I can control my consistency with my content.
Yeah.
So I'm with you in that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think successful people, you'll start seeing the mindset of like, there's a consistency that they want to have control over. If they
Yeah.
can't control their consistency in something, they don't want to take that risk.
Yeah,
Especially
100%.
we have that number of 55.
Yeah.
And you can't be taking risks
No.
after like
No, you can't be taking a risk after that. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it has to be all done and set by 55.
Yeah. I love it.
I
Well,
love it.
if you're listening to this and you heard Christian's story and you go, holy crap, in a very fork in the road moment, there was a split decision, and you hear everything that's happened, you'll see that it was fueled by a life up to that point of knowing that even in the hard times, it works out. And now looking backwards, there's definitely a proof of concept that even through all the hard times, it definitely continues to work out. And there's something better that you can create for yourself. So I hope you listen to this story and you realize that making that mental decision to bet on yourself and what you can create for yourself, even in the midst of a hard time, can equal times you never even dreamed of. Give yourself a chance, believe in yourself, and see the success that comes out.